Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got a couple of things we got to talk about, and there is a local four-star product out of Hesperia, and listen, he is a running back, and it's straight up go time with this kid. Listen, these are the type of running backs that usually slip between the cracks. You guys got running backs like McMillan that's at the University of Arizona in the transfer portal. Those type of running backs, for whatever reason, always slip through the cracks. He's been offered by Oregon. He's been offered by Arizona, a couple of Pac-12 schools. And listen, man, we got to look at this kid and see exactly who he is. His name is Carson Cox, big time player. And I want you guys to take a look at his information. Also, I want to talk about this Alabama thing as well, because I believe that Alabama is essentially not the school itself, but the media, local media around it, they're essentially lost in the sauce because Alabama is no better than anybody else. And I want to tell you why, as it relates to some of the things that they're saying, having sympathy. I just don't believe in that. And real quick, let me just shout out my man, Jason Tillman. Jason Tillman, big time Oklahoma fan. His mother passed away. And I want to send my condolences to the Wilson Tillman family. This guy's been rocking with me for a long time. I think probably even before I had 1,000 subscribers. But man, big shout out to him. I'm praying for your family, and I want the whole Trojan family, whole Trojan nation, to pray for Jason's family, man. Shout out to you, man, and you guys continue to fight on and boomer sooner, man. So look, man, let's take a look real quick at some information as it relates to this running back. He is a four-star guy, as I stated. I just want you to see some of his film real quick because this dude is he's legit, man. I want you to see his movements. As I stated, he's a four-star and he's a big-time player. You guys tell me what you think about him as you see him run. Who does he remind you of? And should USC absolutely continue to go after him? He was just offered by USC yesterday. And as a result, it's crazy because a friend of mine that lives out that way actually said, look, this is I'm friends with his mom. And he was actually offered. That's how I found out about it. He was actually offered. So shout out to her for sending that to me. And you guys see him here. This guy's absolutely moving and grooving, man. You guys can hit me in the comment section. They got him rated according to On3, 6 feet, 190, 2025 prospect. And as I stated, his name is Carson Cox, and he's a four-star, 240, the 240th player overall in the country. And let's take another look at him here. Here's another clip. And he's number 19 running back in the nation, number 22 player in the state of California. So look, I think it's straight up go time, man. 6 feet, 190. I think USC can absolutely utilize somebody, especially being that he's a local product. You guys see the way he's moving and grooving. He's a pretty decent running back, man. So you guys can hit me in the comments. You guys can tell me what you think. You guys could also look at it here. Here's the schools that he's been offered already. Oregon, Washington, Kansas, San Diego State. You see Arizona on there, Oregon State, Washington State, Utah, Missouri, UNLV, so and BYU. So there's some schools, SMU as well. So there are a couple of schools that I think that could probably want to utilize a running back like that. And USC can definitely utilize a running back like that, man. You guys can hit me in the comment section. You guys tell me what you think about Carson. And there you see his information there, four-star, has a 90.26 rating overall. So you guys let me know. Let me know what you think about Carson, man. That is a local product. Now, I got to get to this article real quick with this Alabama situation because it is absolutely insane. And listen, those who haven't seen, go back and watch the interview that I did yesterday with Carlon Jones, four-star defensive tackle, already signed with USC. Go take a look at it, man. This guy is a phenomenal kid. Very energetic. We had a live yesterday, and for some reason, some tell me that the live doesn't show up, doesn't pop up on a notification. So you guys happen to see this, haven't tapped in with the live, make sure you go check that out. That is with Carlon Jones out of Texas, USC commit. Him and that big boy, Jai Abusari, out of Minnesota. Those two guys are going to absolutely eat under this new coaching staff, man. So you guys hit me in the comment section on that as well. But let's take a look at this real quick. This is Nick Saban, and you see, actually not Nick Saban, that's a picture of Nick Saban, but this is an article that came from a guy by the name of Josh Newberg from On3. And this is what he says about the transfer portal. And I've heard some other individuals from the same network kind of make reference to this, and I've heard others from other networks make reference to this as well. But this is why I don't think they really have an understanding. This is what the article is. It says the transfer portal needs to be fixed. All of a sudden, the transfer portal needs to be fixed. Nobody said nothing about Texas A&M when they had multiple players leaving. Nobody said anything when they had Georgia players leaving. They had multiple players leaving. Nobody even said a whole lot about USC players leaving. Well, to this extent, most of the time when they said something about USC players leaving, they said the USC players are leaving in the max exodus, and what's going on. It was a negative. It was a negative narrative that was placed on that, and so you really didn't see the same type of narrative. But look at this. He says the transfer portal needs to be fixed. The situation with Alabama will cause change. Bama is penalized because they made the playoffs and Nick Saban retired afterwards. Wow. Let me continue to read. The last team to make the change gets shafted in the portal. There's simply no players left in the portal to recruit. Are you serious? So everybody want to focus on what's happening in Alabama now, right? But prior to that, Georgia had, like, you guys remember I did a chart and I showed you guys that it was multiple Georgia players leaving by the droves, multiple 4-stars, and Texas A&M as well. But nobody said nothing. You know why? Well, Georgia players were leaving just because some of them probably want to play at time. But Texas A&M players, they left because of new coach, and it's the same thing. Let me make something clear to you guys real quick. Players are leaving because of Nick Saban. I made a video and I wasn't throwing no shade at all. Let me switch this camera back up. I wasn't throwing no shade at all at Alabama or Tuscaloosa, the city within itself. Players were not coming to Alabama because they like Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And that's just no shade on the school at all. Players were coming to Alabama because they like Nick Saban. Nick Saban was the master developer. He is the master coach. I mean, of course, you guys know he has several coaches that came from under him, and he was still successful. Those coaches branched all out to Georgia, Oregon, everywhere else, and Nick Saban is still successful. I mean, you guys got to remember that this has been going on for years. Nick Saban has been established. That's why we had guys like Damani Jackson to lead. That's why we had guys like Peyton Woodyard from St. John Bosco to lead. That's why we had guys like Zebion Brown to get up and leave from Mater Dei and go out to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It wasn't because of they just loved the place. It was because of Nick Saban. If you had the opportunity to be under Nick Saban, that was like a privilege for him to recruit you because he recognized talent to the third degree. I mean, it was next level. And so, these guys went there. You had guys from all over. Remember, we had guys like Najee Harris, who came from California. You had guys like running back Mark Ingram, who came from the Michigan area. You had guys like Mitri Fitzpatrick, who came from like the New Jersey area. They recruited just like the way USC recruited for years. You guys know we had guys like Dwayne Jarrett from New Jersey, Brian Cushing. You had all these guys. Then you have some guys to come from Florida, like a Mike Williams. You had Nelson Aguilar. We recruited big time for years. And it was the same type of effect. But the thing about it, Pete Carroll did it in a less amount of time than what a guy like Nick Saban did. So Nick Saban was established a lot longer. And as a result, they wanted to be coached by him. This guy was a legend, coached at LSU. So it has nothing to do with being at Alabama, but it had more so to do with Nick Saban. And this is why I made the video that USC fans know that Alabama will never be the same. It will absolutely never be the same. I don't care what you do. Those guys want to be coached under Nick Saban, and now they're leaving because Nick Saban is not there anymore, man. So you guys can hit me in the comments. Drop those comments. What are your thoughts on that situation that continues to unfold at the University of Alabama? You guys hit me. Let me know. Also, what do you guys think about the 4-star running back out of Hesperia, man? Carson Cox, man. I think he's a good running back. Hit me in the comments. Drop those comments. Let me know what do you guys think. Until later on, listen, I'm out of here, man. Happy Friday to everybody. Everybody stay blessed. Don't forget, make sure you get up, get out, and make some things happen. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.